They just don't learn. They just don't learn. What did you learn today? Nothing.
Whoa!
So, contrary to popular belief, we do not just sit around here and bitch about things. We also enjoy things when people stand up for the IPs, when people stand up for what is good, what is right, what should be the things that are funded. So, we're going to start off with the bad news first, get it out of the way. That way, we can enjoy things later on in the future. So the studio head of Amazon MGM, Jennifer Salke, we've heard a lot lately. She's been having her name dragged through the mud, possibly for good reason. Actually, we know it's for good reason, but I was just trying to give her a little bit of leeway. Could purchase rights to Lord of the Rings from the Embracer Group. Now, Embracer Group has had a couple of, the last couple of quarters have not been good for them. They own the majority of Tolkien's IP, not the portion of the IP of the Silmarillion, the portion of the appendices that Rings of Power is off of. Why would they want to buy them though? Because they're already plagiarizing from other aspects of Tolkien's IP. I think the only reason that makes sense to me is that this is the only way that they can completely give a giant screw you, just ram it down your throat that this is ours now. We can change it however we want to. Screw the fans. They've already said screw the fans, but they will just completely go down that road even more. But I don't see why they would want to, because it's not making them any money. Because the fans of us, we're all still out here and we are all still vehemently against all this stuff. And yes, she talks a little bit blasé about it. Yeah, I don't have anything to share. It's like, but we're always talking about those opportunities. So it's in the boardroom. They are talking about it. So the people that they are thinking about being in talks with, the Embracer Group, who owns the majority of the IP, appears to be in a weakened state. They're trying to offer a restructuring program, and what is going over is the program is divided into different phases until this year. Why is this on here? With focus on cost savings, capital allocation, efficiency, and consolidation. The initial phase targets cost savings across the group. Fire all the DEI people. There you go. Saved you on cost. Actually, saved you on cost, helped you in creativity. The next phase, which also starts immediately, will require further analysis to determine specific actions. Well, that right there doesn't really make sense whatsoever. It starts immediately, but will require further analysis. This is a whole lot of talking around the issue. The last phase. Oh yeah, let's just just skip over that, right? Don't you? The last phase will focus on internal consolidation, further resource utilization, and more synergies across the group. I think you should take a pay. Never mind, I shouldn't say that. No, no, no. This is a company that's on their last leg. So if they have most of the rights to it, they will sell it for cheap to try to bail out their last overhead costs. That's exactly what they'll do. They run themselves into the ground, just like the DEI bridge, all that kind of stuff. I'm sorry, I summoned Hayden Wayne, but just like these things they're always running themselves into the ground, and then they go out like wholesale price. The actions will include, but not be limited to, closing or divestments of some studios and the termination or pausing of some ongoing game development projects. So basically, they're putting a full embargo on everything. They're not going to put anything out. They're not going to take anything in. We've seen this time before, time and time before, and Jennifer Salke wants to swoop it up, like a vulture, right when it's at its lowest. That way they can fuck over the fans and claim that they have final authority over everything that we have read for generations, have loved, and they will try to find a way to do like Star Wars edition, or what George Lucas did. They will do that to Peter Jackson's trilogy. Mark my words, if all this goes through, they will try to do that there too. But here's something that I am actually not mad about, and it restores some faith in humanity, in my belief of humanity. Hugo Weaving, Elrond. You know him as Elrond, Agent Smith. Elrond, the real Elrond, shares why he will not return to Lord of the Rings because Andy Serkis is directing a film and Peter Jackson is helping him produce it. He says he has no intention to return to Middle Earth and goes on for an explanation. He's pretty blunt about it too. Personally, I've had enough. It was great. It's a 10-year period. I did that, go back to work because he was in Mortal Engines. So, like, obviously, he had an affinity for Peter Jackson. Peter Jackson has been known to get along really well with his actors. He's like, well, that died on its butt. So I've had enough of Middle Earth. I don't imagine anyone would ask me to do it again. Well, you might try imagining harder because people are going to ask you, especially with this outlash that we've been seeing going on through Rings of Power and all the new stuff that's coming on. I don't even think the new Gollum movie, The Hunt for Gollum, I don't even think that is necessary. I don't think it's, well, if it's a passion project, because Andy Serkis basically did make his name off of playing Gollum, and well deserved, by the way. Nothing against the guy at all. He seems to have a slightly deft eye behind the camera because we've seen him. There was one movie that he directed. I can't say it for you right now off the top of my head, but it was well shot. Just wasn't well received. But Elrond doesn't, I call him Elrond, Hugo Weaving doesn't want to come back. Given the immortality of his character and the fact that he, as in Hugo Weaving, has gotten older. This is the lore. This is what we need from people. This is what we need from actors. We need more people to say this stuff. Elrond is meant to be immortal, and I'm aging. Elrond's one of the few characters, I think there's only 3 or 4 of them, who spans through the Silmarillion, Lord of the Rings, and The Hobbit. Yes, sir. But even when we went back to reshoot certain parts of Lord of the Rings, I was aware I was older than I was before, and shooting stuff on The Hobbit was starting to get slightly silly. Now, they probably could have put concealer or some other stuff to like hide wrinkles and all that, but it's funny to me that he knows this, that he's the one pointing it out. It's like, no, as much as I loved my time there, I am not going back because it doesn't fit in line with the character that Tolkien has written. It was fine for the time. We did it all in 3 years. It was a 3-year shoot. We just did that all at once. So, like, basically didn't age. We were taken care of every day. Loved being a part of the franchise, but I have absolutely no plans or desires to be a part of it anymore. Respect to this guy. Absolute respect. There is more to this article that we could get into, but I just want to leave on a happy note. Not that the rest of the article is not happy, but this just drives our point home. These are the people that we should be praising. You were a part of something great. You captured lightning in a bottle. Leave that lightning in the bottle. Let it shine. Shake it up every once in a while, but don't ever turn off the lid. Don't ever untwist the lid. That's kind of what we should be doing in my opinion, especially in this atmosphere of everything going crazy. All right, so what do y'all think? I am done talking about this for the time being. I'm happy to engage with people in the chat that have other ideas about it. But basically, where I'm coming from is that Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings trilogy is the best film franchise ever. And yes, while they had to take certain artistic liberties, they stayed true to the soul of the story, and it's just mucho perfection. There's probably a lot of stuff that I could say as far as argumentative things that I have left out because I'm just on like one train of thought right now. But if you have anything to say, leave it down in the comment section. Subscribe to the GCA. Come join our Discord where we talk a lot more. We have watch parties all the time. And until next time, for Frodo.